Faith and belief are indispensable elements in human spiritual life, and for billions of people around the world, God is the source of life, love, and guidance. From the profound teachings of the Bible to long-standing religious traditions, the image of God has powerfully influenced the way we live, think, and act. God is not only the creator but also the guide, the source of peace and hope. In the modern era, when people face countless difficulties and challenges, faith in God becomes a shining light, bringing peace and encouragement. This article will explore the role of God in human life, from religious and cultural aspects to the impact of belief in God on individuals and communities. Through this, we will see more clearly the value and profound meaning that faith in God brings to humanity, affirming that, no matter how much time passes, God is always present and strongly influences life. Human life. Build an intimate relationship with God. During their spiritual journey, many people experience moments of loneliness and feel like they are cut off from any support. However, these times are not punishments, but rather opportunities to build and deepen a relationship with God. This is an important stage for spiritual development and strengthening of faith. Building an intimate relationship with God is the first factor in overcoming isolation. This relationship begins with sincere and constant prayer. Prayer is not just about expressing a need or asking for help, but it is also an ongoing conversation with God, where we open our hearts, express our concerns, give thanks, and praise. According to Philippians 4-6, we are exhorted not to be anxious about anything, but in everything to present our requests to God by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. This is how we connect and maintain closeness to God even in difficult times. Studying the Bible is also an essential part of building a relationship with God. The Bible is not just a book full of knowledge, but a love letter from God to us. In 2 Timothy 3:16-17, the Bible is described as the inspired Word of God and is profitable for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training in righteousness. Studying the Bible helps us better understand God's nature and will, and provides guidance and strengthening in our spiritual lives. Worship is an indispensable element in building an intimate relationship with God. According to John 4:23, Jesus taught that true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Worship is not just participating in services or singing hymns, but is an attitude of life, a dedication of heart and mind to God. This is how we show our love and respect for Him. Trusting God in all circumstances is also an important part of building a relationship with Him. In Proverbs 3-5-6, we are told to trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. This means we must put our complete trust in God's guidance and plans instead of relying on our own abilities and understanding. Ultimately, obedience to God's word is the practical expression of our faith and love for Him. Jesus said in John 14:15 that, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments." Obedience is a testament to our relationship with God and how we demonstrate our love for Him. In times of loneliness, focusing on building an intimate relationship with God can help us feel close and supported. Don't see isolation as a punishment, but as an opportunity to deepen your relationship with God, strengthen your faith, and prepare for the great things He has in store for you. Use lonely time for personal development. When faced with loneliness, we often feel isolated and disconnected from the world around us. However, time alone can be a valuable opportunity to develop yourself and prepare for the challenges ahead. Using this time effectively can have long-term benefits for personal and spiritual growth. Using lonely time for personal growth starts with self-examination and self-understanding. This is an ideal time for us to reconsider our values, goals, and passions. Self-analysis helps us recognize our strengths and weaknesses, thereby setting specific goals for improvement. According to Judges 5:15-16, self-evaluation and self-improvement are an important part of preparing for future challenges. Another important way to develop yourself is to study and research. Lonely times provide opportunities for us to expand our knowledge and skills through reading books, taking online courses, or researching new topics. Studying not only helps improve knowledge, but also creates opportunities to apply new insights into everyday life. According to Proverbs 1-5, the wise will hear and increase in learning, and the understanding will attain wisdom. This is a strong encouragement to use time effectively to develop personal intelligence and skills. Practicing self-discipline and time management is also an essential part of personal development. During times of loneliness, we can establish positive habits and gain discipline in time and work management. Planning and setting clear goals helps us stay motivated and focused, and reduces the feeling of being lost. Proverbs 13-4 emphasizes that the lazy person wants but has nothing, but the diligent person will be satisfied. This encourages us to use our time effectively to achieve success. In addition to studying and self-discipline, developing social skills and communication abilities is also an important part of personal development. Even during times of loneliness, practicing these skills through joining online groups, blogging, or participating in forums can help us connect with others and share experiences. Effective communication helps us expand our social network and create new opportunities for ourselves. Finally, taking care of your mental and physical health is very important in the process of personal development. Time of solitude provides an opportunity for us to focus on maintaining our health through exercise, healthy eating, and practicing relaxation techniques such as meditation or yoga. Good health is the foundation for personal and spiritual development, helping us maintain energy and positivity in life. Using alone time for personal growth not only helps us feel less alone, but also prepares us for a brighter future. Don't see loneliness as a negative thing, but see it as an opportunity to discover and develop yourself, thereby better preparing for new challenges and opportunities in life. Please comment number 1 before hearing all this from God. Connecting with others during lonely times. While loneliness can bring feelings of isolation and loneliness, it is also an important time for us to explore and strengthen our social relationships. Connecting with others during times of loneliness not only helps reduce feelings of being lost, but also provides many mental and emotional benefits. Building and maintaining relationships is an important part of coping with loneliness and feeling connected to the community around you. Connecting with others during times of loneliness starts with proactively expanding our social networks. Using this time to seek out opportunities to connect with friends, family, or even new acquaintances can help create a sense of belonging and emotional support. Although it can be difficult to establish new relationships, proactively reaching out and maintaining contact with those around you can help reduce feelings of loneliness. According to Jesus' advice in Luke 6:31, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you," which emphasizes the importance of communication and support in relationships. One way to connect with others is to participate in group or community activities. Interest groups, volunteer organizations, or clubs can provide opportunities to meet people with similar passions and interests. Participating in these activities not only helps expand social networks, but also provides a sense of contribution and belonging. Participating in community activities helps us feel connected and valuable within a larger group. Besides participating in group activities, maintaining and strengthening existing relationships is also important. Using alone time to reach out to friends and family, share your feelings, and listen to them can help build deeper connections. Taking time to nurture existing relationships and show genuine interest in others helps strengthen bonds and enhance feelings of closeness. According to the verse in 1 Thessalonians 5:11, encourage one another and build one another up. This is an emphasis on maintaining positive relationships and supporting one another. During times of loneliness, the search for connection does not stop at the personal level, but can also extend to online social networks. Social media platforms and online forums can be useful tools for connecting with people with similar interests or similar experiences. Participating in online communities can help us find support and a sense of connection, while expanding our influence beyond geography. Finally, self-care and emotional care during times of loneliness can positively influence your ability to connect with others. When we feel confident and healthy, it is easier for us to establish and maintain positive relationships. Activities like meditation, exercise, and self-care help improve mood and energy, which in turn facilitates building positive relationships. Connecting with others during times of loneliness not only helps reduce feelings of being lost, but also provides support and a sense of belonging. Although it can be challenging, proactively finding and maintaining social relationships is an important part of coping with loneliness and building a full and meaningful life. Assessing personal values during times of loneliness. Time alone can be a valuable opportunity to reassess your personal values and reaffirm yourself. When we are not distracted by social activities or outside demands, we can focus on better understanding ourselves and the things that are important to us. This is the ideal time to examine your values, goals, and passions, and from there develop a clearer view of yourself. Personal valuation during times of loneliness starts with asking yourself important questions about your interests and goals. We can consider what is truly important and meaningful to us, thereby identifying the core values we want to pursue. For example, are personal success, financial stability, or personal growth the most important factors to you? Clearly defining our personal values helps us have a clearer map of what we want to achieve and how to achieve it. An effective way to assess personal values is through journaling or journaling. Writing down our thoughts and feelings can help us better understand what's going on in our minds. A journal is not only a place to record daily events and feelings, but it is also a powerful tool for exploring personal values and goals. Taking time to write and reflect helps us organize our thoughts and spot patterns or trends in our lives. In addition to journaling, it is also important to engage in self-reflective activities. Meditation, yoga, or similar activities help create a quiet space for reflection and better understanding of yourself. These activities help us reduce stress and focus on deeper thoughts about our values and goals. According to research, people who regularly practice meditation and self-reflection tend to have a deeper understanding of themselves and feel more satisfied with life. Besides discovering personal values, alone time is also an opportunity for us to reevaluate relationships and surrounding influences. We can consider whether our current relationships support our values and goals. Identifying positive and negative relationships helps us tailor our social connections to better align with our personal values. Finally, building and maintaining confidence and self-esteem is also an important part of assessing personal worth. When we feel confident and proud of ourselves, we can more easily pursue our personal goals and values. Activities such as goal setting, self-rewards, and self-care help boost self-confidence and feelings of personal worth. In short, time alone can be a valuable opportunity to reassess your personal values and affirm yourself. By reflecting on our values, goals, and relationships, we can create a clearer view of ourselves and build a harmonious and meaningful life. Unique calling. In the Bible, we see that many great figures went through periods of isolation before they were able to receive important revelations from God. For Moses, the 40 years he spent in the Midian desert was not only a time to prepare for his mission to liberate the Israelites, but also a time for him to develop a personal relationship with God. It was in the stillness of the desert that Moses met God through the burning bush and received the revelation of his mission. Also in the desert, Moses learned to trust and depend on God, building a strong relationship with him. Similarly, the prophet Elijah sought isolation when he fled from the pursuit of Queen Jezebel. During this time, Elijah had special experiences with God at Mount Horeb. When he was in the cave, God was not present in a strong wind, an earthquake, or a fire, but in a quiet sound of the wind. This was an important moment of revelation for Elijah, as he realized that God's presence often comes in stillness and humility. Through this experience, Elijah's relationship with God deepened, allowing him to continue his prophetic mission. The Apostle Paul also went through a period of isolation to receive revelation from God. After he met the Lord on the road to Damascus, Paul spent time in Arabia before beginning his preaching ministry. In this isolation, Paul received profound revelations from God about his mission to the Gentiles. This time helped him strengthen his personal relationship with God and prepare him for the challenges he would face in the future. Jesus also sought quiet times to connect with the Father. He often retreated to deserted places to pray and meditate. These times not only helped Jesus receive guidance from the Father, but also helped strengthen the intimate relationship between him and the Father. Isolation and prayer helped Jesus maintain his goals and mission throughout his journey to save humanity. In the Bible, isolation is not simply a physical condition, but also a means for each person to focus inwardly, seeking understanding of themselves and of God. For Moses, the time he spent in the Midian desert was not only to get away from the chaos of his old life, but also to prepare his soul and spirit for the great mission that God had planned for him. The isolation in the desert helped Moses practice patience, dependence on God, and leadership. Similarly, Elijah in his isolation at Mount Horeb had the opportunity to reflect on his mission and seek guidance from the Lord. In the silence of the cave, he experienced important revelations, helping him realize that God does not always appear in majestic phenomena, but is often present in simple and quiet moments. Quiet. This realization not only strengthened Elijah's faith, but also helped him better understand how God worked in his life and that of his people. The Apostle Paul, after experiencing the incident on the road to Damascus, spent some time in Arabia reflecting and seeking revelation from God. This time not only helped Paul gain insights into his mission, but also helped him develop a close personal relationship with God. In isolation, Paul learned to listen to God's voice and prepare for the great trials and responsibilities he would face in the future. Even Jesus often sought moments of quiet and isolation to pray and connect with the Father. His retreats into the wilderness to pray were not only to receive guidance from the Father, but also to maintain a close relationship and a clear awareness of his saving mission. Isolation helped Jesus keep his faith and purpose throughout his journey. These stories from the Bible illustrate that isolation is not a negative state, but an opportunity for personal and spiritual growth. In stillness and solitude, we can hear God more clearly, recognize important revelations, and develop a deep relationship with Him. Isolation helps us practice patience, dependence on God, and prepare for future challenges. This is a precious time for us to find ourselves, realize our mission, and strengthen our faith in the Creator. First of all, public meetings and worship are an indispensable part of the spiritual life of every believer. In the Bible, From the time of the Old Testament to the New Testament, believers always set aside special times to gather and worship God. Festivals and worship services are not only an opportunity to offer prayers and thanksgiving to God, but also a time to share spiritual experiences, learn, and encourage one another. Meeting and worshiping together helps create a strong community where people can support and move forward in faith together. Please comment number 1 so God can help you have a wonderful day. Second, public worship is an act of gratitude and reverence for God. When we gather to worship, we not only fulfill our religious obligation, but also express our gratitude for the blessings God has given us. Through worship services, we have the opportunity to honor God, express our respect, and give thanks for what He has done for us. Public worship is also the way we acknowledge God's presence and power in daily life, thereby living a life full of meaning and purpose. Third, meeting publicly for worship also helps us develop relationships with other believers. In a community of believers, sharing, learning, and encouraging each other is very important. Worship gatherings are an opportunity for us to listen to God's Word, learn from the experiences of others, and receive encouragement to continue our faith journey. Participating in public worship also helps us feel part of a larger community where everyone has their own role and responsibilities. Finally, meeting and worshiping publicly is also an opportunity for us to testify about our faith to the world around us. When we gather to worship, we not only demonstrate our faith before God, but also before others. This helps us convey the message of God's love and power to those who do not know Him. Public worship is also how we affirm the value of faith in daily life and encourage others to seek and experience God's love. In short, meeting and worshiping God publicly is not only an important part of personal spiritual life, but also brings many benefits to the community of believers and society. It helps strengthen faith, express gratitude and reverence for God, develop relationships with other believers, and bear witness to our faith before the world. This is an essential action for us to live up to the mission and purpose that God has assigned us. First of all, educating the young generation about faith is a necessary task to ensure the continuation of religious traditions. Parents and adults in the community have the responsibility to impart religious knowledge and values to their children. Through catechism classes, religious activities, and community activities, children learn basic doctrine, understand the Bible, and grasp the principles of living by faith. This helps children have a solid foundation in religion, thereby developing into loyal and knowledgeable believers. Second, preparing the youth also includes encouraging and supporting their participation in religious and community activities. Through participation in youth groups, charitable activities, and church events, children not only learn about faith, but also experience and live religious values. These activities help children develop social skills, build relationships with other believers, and become more aware of their roles and responsibilities in the community. Third, educating the younger generation also requires companionship and guidance from adults with experience and strong faith. Parents, catechism teachers, and religious leaders need to act as role models, guides, and encouragers in their journey of faith. By sharing experiences, personal stories, and advice, they help children better understand the challenges and opportunities of a life of faith, thereby better preparing for the future. Finally, preparing the youth also involves creating an environment conducive to the growth of faith. Churches and communities of believers need to create age-appropriate programs and activities to help children feel interested and attached to religion. In addition, the use of modern technology and media is also an effective way to reach and educate the younger generation. Websites, mobile applications, and social networks can be used to share religious knowledge, organize online learning sessions, and connect young believers around the world. In short, educating and preparing the young generation is an important and necessary task to ensure the continuation and development of faith and religious traditions. This requires effort and dedication from parents, teachers, religious leaders, and the entire community of believers. By educating, encouraging participation, guiding and creating an enabling environment, we can help the younger generation develop into strong, loyal believers capable of contributing to building a community, strong and sustainable religious community. First of all, building good relationships between religions starts with mutual respect. Each religion has its own unique values, beliefs, and practices, and it is important that followers learn to respect and accept those differences. This requires a deep understanding of one's own faith as well as that of others. Through studying and learning about other religions, believers can develop an open and respectful attitude toward different beliefs. Please like this video so God will always be with you. Second, interreligious dialogue is an important tool to establish good relationships between religions. Through dialogues and seminars, religious leaders and followers can meet, exchange, and share views on common social issues. Interfaith dialogue not only helps eliminate misunderstandings and prejudices, but also creates opportunities for religions to cooperate and work together to solve social problems. For example, religions can cooperate on charity projects, protect the environment, and promote peace and social justice. Third, organizing interfaith events also plays an important role in establishing good relationships between religions. Events such as festivals, days of common prayer, and cultural exchanges can help believers from different religions meet, interact, and understand each other better. These events not only create positive experiences, but also build a diverse and united community. In addition, education about religious diversity in schools and communities is also an effective way to establish good relationships between religions. Through teaching about different religions, children and young people can develop an attitude of respect and understanding of religious diversity. This helps build a young generation with a sense of harmony and consensus in society. Ultimately, building good relationships between religions requires commitment and continuous effort from all parties. Religious leaders need to play a pioneering role in promoting interfaith dialogue and cooperation. Believers need to actively participate in interreligious activities and develop an attitude of respect and harmony. Governments and social organizations also need to support and encourage interfaith activities to build a diverse and harmonious society. Through analyzing the aspects of building a peaceful and equitable society, we realize that sustainable development cannot lack the contributions of each individual and community. From educating and raising awareness, promoting dialogue and cooperation between religions, to protecting the environment and supporting the vulnerable, every action is of great importance in building a harmonious society. Policies and initiatives need to be designed not only to meet immediate needs, but also towards long-term and sustainable development. Only when all members of society join hands can we create a bright future where everyone has the opportunity to develop and live in harmony and mutual respect. Let's work together to make these values a reality for a better world for all.